What is up, everybody? You are checking out the Uncensored Pro Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, The Hot Commodity, joined by my Hot Commodity as we cover Attitude Years Season 2. We're covering WWF SmackDown from December 16th, 1999. And of course, I have my Hot Commodity here because he's old and he remembers this stuff. How old is 1999?
I was about 40.
Well, how old is 99? How long ago is it?
25 years ago.
And how old were you?
I was 14.
25 years ago? Yeah. How long ago was I 14? I'll be 30.
93. What year was that? 99.
Well, yeah. Well, how long
You were
ago?
6.
Okay, but how long ago was I 14 from now? I was 14.
Well, you're 30,
yeah.
so you were 16 years ago.
16 years is 25. Yeah. Not that different, but
9 years.
yeah.
Sometimes it's 8.
Do you remember being 14?
Yeah.
What was 14? Yeah, like 14-year-old.
Middle school life stuff. I hated middle school.
Were you more of an Austin or
Rock. I ended up Austin. I didn't like Austin in the very beginning, like when he was fighting Brett, but then I liked him later on.
Yeah, because you watched it.
Yeah.
How about like during this time? Like, who was your favorite around this year?
I really liked Undertaker. He was gone. But Undertaker, Austin, Rock, DX.
And do you like them now too? Now that you're older.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't like DX at this point, but they were like, I still like the New Age Outlaws. They were, I was never a big Mankind fan. I don't know. I think he's kind of overrated. Like, he's done some cool stuff, but I think he really sucks the rest of it.
All right, well, you agree. You're like Ric Flair. Ric Flair said he was a glorified stuff man.
Hogan said that.
No, Flair said that.
Oh, Hogan said too that he was like, he said that Mick Foley, something about, he spends more time in one day than Mick Foley does in the gym in a year.
Well, Hogan spent.
Yeah, but he still worked out a lot. You don't get like that just
No, I haven't understand.
Mick Foley, I don't think ever.
But to be fair, if you put on a Hogan match from '99 and a Mankind match from '99, you're probably gonna get the same reaction. You're gonna get bored. No offense, but like Hogan wasn't.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Hogan wasn't in his prime in '99.
No, it wasn't him at all.
No, I'm not saying you're saying that. I'm saying, but
I
for
actually
Hogan,
like Mankind more than Hogan. But
I'm saying more so towards Hogan that like he shouldn't be saying that because if you watch a match from 1999 of Hulk Hogan, it's kind of like,
yeah.
But
Anywho,
respect to your opinion on Mankind. A lot of people feel that way, but you might have a change of thought in a little bit, but we'll get there. So we're covering WWF SmackDown from December 16th, 1999, live at Florida State University. And we kick off, and it looks like there's like a Triple H and Stephanie McMahon-Helmsley are backstage with the roster. It looks like they're having like a little Christmas gathering because there's a Christmas tree set up. And Stephanie says Vince McMahon is gone. Triple H says things will be handled more fairly starting tonight. Stephanie says, Mick, you hate Al Snow tonight. You'll face him one-on-one. And then Triple H tells The Rock that he will fight the Big Show for the WWF title. And then Triple H says tonight marks the dawn of a new era. And Stephanie says McMahon-Helmsley era.
Stephanie has joined the generation.
She sure did. So what did you think of this opening of like the of Stephanie and Triple H promising the roster things are gonna be more fair for them?
It was cool. It was a big shake up. You know, it made you wonder what was gonna happen.
We'll see. WWF Hardcore Champion, the Big Boss Man comes out with Prince Albert.
Oh, the big boss.
Bossman says, if you think what I did to Al Snow and the Big Show was bad, just wait. And then Intercontinental Champion Chris Jericho comes out. Jericho says, Boss Man, if you can't say anything entertaining, I say shut the hell up. And then the two of them fight for the Intercontinental title. Well, not Boss Man, Prince Albert fights Jericho. Chyna and Women's Champion Miss Kitty come out, and Chyna ends up landing a low blow to Prince Albert, allowing Jericho to land a Lion's Saw. And it looks like Jericho and Chyna are working together. You said you didn't think they were gonna. You think they're gonna work together? You
I think Jericho wants to be in China.
A lot of people want to go to Asia.
Yeah, I think. I kind of don't remember this part, so I don't know, but it looks like Jericho and China are definitely on the same. It's like she kind of has a thing for him now, so yeah, we'll see what happens.
We'll see. Yeah, I think I know what happened, so I don't want to say anything, but
I mean, it could all just be a plan, you never know.
I will say that Chyna, she's working with Jericho right now. So Stephanie McMahon-Helmsley is backstage with Triple H, and she wants to watch Kurt Angle fight Test. Triple H tells her that she's out of her mind. She can't go. And Stephanie says, watch me. So we have Test taking on Kurt Angle. Stephanie McMahon-Helmsley gets on commentary during the match. Stephanie then tells the referee to disqualify Test because Test is using closed fist on Kurt Angle. Test starts to chase Stephanie up the ramp, but then DX attack Test. Triple H ends up punching Test in the face. EMTs help Test backstage. He has a bloody nose. And then Triple H makes Patterson, Gerald, Brisco fight the New Age Outlaws later on tonight because they were checking on Test. So what do you think of
If I was Triple H, I would have slapped the shit out of that. She still has like a thing for Test.
You think so?
Well, she's still going out there like trying to stir up trouble.
Yeah, but wasn't this? You don't think this was a plan from Triple H?
That was a thing. They did like the same exact thing when they were like, they keep like making it like Stephanie's doing something bad, like when she tells the Outlaws they have to fight.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it was the same exact idea where, you know,
yeah,
he acts all mad at her. It's just a big thing. It was kind of predictable. I mean, nobody really thought. Well, nobody should have thought that she was going to go out there and really fucking not fuck up Test's match.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so yeah.
No. Dr. McMahon-Helmsley, to quote Jim Ross, is a witchy woman.
No, she's a rhymes with witch, but it starts with a B. And we'll get to the last one too.
Triple H then makes this match. Jeff Hardy has to take on his brother Matt Hardy, and Matt ends up getting the win after nailing a reverse face plant after the two brothers hug. Which Hardy do you think is better?
Yeah.
Jeff.
But these were kind of cool matches, like matches everybody could see.
Mm-hmm.
So it was kind of cool.
Yeah. Tori yells at Stephanie McMahon-Helmsley backstage for putting her in a pudding match against the Cat. Stephanie tells Tori she will take her on in a match tonight. The Mean Street Posse then apologizes to Triple H and Stephanie for what happened. They said they learned their lesson after the Acolytes last week. But if there's anything that they need for them to do, they're there for them. And Stephanie's like, I got an idea. So Tori comes out to take on Stephanie, but we see footage of the Mean Street Posse attacking Kane backstage. Tori goes to leave, but Stephanie says she'd like Tori to see her real opponent. It's X-Pac. Stephanie tosses Tori into the ring. Tori spits at X-Pac. X-Pac lands a Bronco Buster and X Factor. X-Pac defeats Tori. And then we see Kane carrying Tori out of the arena. Stephanie, man, what a bitch.
That was a bit much to put her against X-Pac, and it makes him look like an asshole.
Who, X-Pac? Well, he is right now.
Well, yeah, but it's kind of like,
you know, they don't usually flip men against women
Mm-hmm.
to teach them a lesson.
Well, the last couple of weeks, X-Pac's been like, he had a heel kick, he had an X Factor on the pay-per-view. I mean, he's known to hit her. So
Well, it's kind of funny. It's like he's the only guy they could have put against her because he was full of.
kind of looks like a girl. Al
He's got the
Snow's
body
seen
on.
backstage talking to, it looks like the DX locker room, and he says to make sure they keep their end of the bargain. We have Al Snow taking on Mankind in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Basic hardcore match. We do see Al Snow putting on a bowling shirt, and he has a bowling ball with him. But Mankind uses tongs on Al Snow's balls and uses a bowling ball to, hit Al where the kind of hurts. They fight by DX's locker room. They go into the room. You don't see what happens, but Mankind tosses Al Snow out and pins Al Snow. And after the match, The Rock comes out with a steel chair, so it shows us that The Rock was the one attacking Al Snow. And he also takes off. It looks like The Rock planted that sign. It wasn't DX's locker room. What do you think of this? Kind of silly, but funny to see.
Yeah. It is the classic little attitude.
Era moment, right? Shenanigans. We get another brother versus brother match. Edge versus Christian. Edge gets the win after rolling Christian up. Another good match. Yeah, but it was good to see these two compete against each other.
Edge had been there more.
Yeah. We then get an Acolyte rules match. The Acolytes defeating the Mean Street Posse after Farouk Ram stares into the Posse's face and hits Rodney with a steel chair.
And this was Farouk's hometown.
Yeah,
so everybody was. He used to play football for Florida State, and everybody was doing the hand motion for.
He got his jersey retired there. So
yeah, people were really going crazy for him that day.
Uh-huh. Farouk. We then see Jim Ross backstage. He says he's embarrassed for everyone by Stephanie McMahon-Helmsley's actions, and like you said earlier, she's acting like a witch, but take away what does he say? He's like,
it rhymes with witch, but it starts with a B.
So then we see Triple H and Stephanie yell at Jim Ross, and Stephanie slaps the shit out of Jim Ross.
Let me tell you, they do some fucked up shit to Jim Ross. I watched a video the other day, and Vince McMahon made fun of the way he talked after he had a stroke and stuff. They really did some fucked up shit. The whole the segment where he's in the hospital or something.
The colonoscopy.
Yeah, that one was real. He said in real life, Vince called him up that day and was like, "Oh, hey, we're gonna do something for you tonight." And he said he couldn't believe it when he watched. It was he was appalled and embarrassed. I could see that. It was kind of fun.
Oh, fuck Jim Ross. He's fired mad people. So good.
Well, fuck him then.
It's okay.
I don't like him if you don't.
No, it was fucked up, the colonoscopy thing, but I mean,
well, he was an asshole.
Well, the thing is, he wasn't really an act. He's just that was his job. He had to fire people. He would.
Yeah, and I'm sure he didn't fire anyone without Vince.
But I do think it's that happened later on. That happened in 2005. It's he's gonna fuck with you. So it's yeah. I mean,
yeah, I don't want with the territory.
So next up, we see Rikishi and Too Cool defeating Viscera on the Hollies after Viscera accidentally hits Crash, and then Rikishi hits Hardcore to Bonsai Drop. That's really it. I like Too Cool and Rikishi, but there's more gimmicky. And hopefully this ends their rivalry with the Hollies.
I would have loved to see Rikishi and Yoko fight.
That would be a good match.
Yeah. I think Rikishi. I think Yoko and Vader fought, right?
Mm-hmm. They did.
Early.
They did. We then see Terri Runnels in bed talking to Santa Claus. I would like to talk to Santa in bed.
I bet you'd like to talk to Terri Runnels.
Nah, she's too skinny. You can see all her spurs. I like talking to you. I like doing more stuff too, but talking is fun for a while. We have the WWE Tag Team Champions, the New Age Outlaws, defending against Gerald, Brisco, and Pat Patterson. And these guys, Pat and Brisco, come off
it was a
swinging.
Slobber knocker.
It was. They attacked New Age Outlaws with powder and sock full of coins. Patterson applies a Boston Crab. Brisco applies a figure four. But then Road Dogg punches Pat with brass knuckles, and Mr. Ass lands a Fameasser, and the New Age Outlaws beat their really tough competition in Brisco and Patterson.
Yeah, I was really on the edge of my seat.
Yeah, me too. It was very, very intense. Well, we made it to our main event. WWE Champion The Big Show defending against The Rock. Before the match can happen, Triple H and Stephanie come out. Triple H says this match has become a lumberjack match, and Triple H and Stephanie sent on a lazy boy on the ramp. Basically, whenever The Rock and Big Show fell outside of the ring, instead of putting them back in the ring, the lumberjacks attacked both men. And then basically the lumberjacks attack both of them until Mankind comes down with a cart full of weapons and
takes on the whole locker room.
Pretty much, yeah. Him, The Rock, and Big Show get advantage of everybody, and Triple H and Stephanie are pissed on the stage as The Rock hits Viscera with a people's elbow and a rock bottom. Mankind spoiling the McMahon-Helmsley era's first night in power. That's what you think is going to happen?
Oh, yeah.
What do you think is going to happen?
I don't know. They're going to do something to it. I could see them like putting like the three of them in a huge fight against everybody else or something like that. Some kind of gauntlet match, maybe. Who knows?
What do you think of this episode, though? Did you think? I mean, it was pretty much the heels, you know.
Yeah, it was a pretty good episode. It was like, Stephanie and Triple H taking over. It kind of gets you psyched for Vince and maybe Stone Cold coming back. We're waiting on the Undertaker to come back, so both those returns could be good for the good side for the faces.
We'll see what happens in McMahon-Helmsley
And it's
era.
not usual that you're waiting for Vince to be on the face side.
Well, Vince is pissed. He's gone. He's alive. So we'll see what
enough was enough, and it's time for a change.
Well, we've got a couple more Raw's Wars coming your way, and then we're going to enter. I think we got only 2 more episodes of Raw and SmackDown for 99, and then we're entering season 3 with 2000. Royal Rumble 2000 is the first pay-per-view of the year. So,
Royal Rumble, that's my favorite.
yeah, and there's this Royal Rumble is a good one.
2000.
Yeah, I remember this one. It takes place in Madison Square Garden. It's a good Royal Rumble. So with that, stay safe and stay uncensored.